you are looking at somebody, first of all, that ran these streets many a time, did a lot many a time. And I want to thank Trudy and Antoine for calling me, first of all, putting this function together in a matter of time that they done. I mean, that's a blessing within itself. A lot of people will talk about it was too early, too late, but they done it. They weren't just on Facebook talking about what they wanted to do, how they was going to do it. They done it. They put it into action. So I commend them for, first of all, doing that. I want to thank my brother for allowing me to be here to speak about my life a little bit, and two young men that I have known my whole entire life, Quinn and T. My nephews are like brothers to those guys. And one thing, when my sister called me at 5 o'clock in the morning and told me that T had passed, it touched me many ways, because I looked at the aspect of, it was just 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, down at Cecil House, me, him, and Earl were sitting down, and T came and sat beside me. I didn't seek him. He came and sat beside me. He said, T. Dandy, he said, man, your motto you live by every day, faith, focus, finish. He said, man, I love that. He said, man, I look at your face, your focus, your every day. He said, I look at it. Earl was right there. He was so emotional about and so enthusiastic about his job he got now and how he was traveling. So I seen a young man that I know that wanted to make it and do whatever he wanted to do. So Taboo, I want to tell you, like, your son didn't die in vain, but just know that you had a great, great son. You raised a great son. These streets didn't own your son. Know that. And to the parents out here, before I get into what I really want to say, to the parents, anytime you build a house, I don't care how big the mansion looks, it starts with a foundation. It starts with a foundation. You can't expect nobody else to raise your child, because if you don't raise them at home, the streets will raise them. And I'm so blessed to have my mother. I know she's out here somewhere. I sent her through so much. I was living a whole different life that she didn't have no clue about. But every morning, my mother prayed with me before I went to school. Every morning, from 10th grade to 12th grade. A lot of these boys don't even know how to pray. They don't even know how to ask God to take him out of this situation. You know, they still saying, lay me down to sleep. You know, they still saying that. But spend time with your kids. You know, let your kids know that you love them. My mother had never called me dumb, stupid, crazy. You gonna be like your father. She never did that. Love your kids. Don't give up on them. I got kicked out of school in 10th grade. I was running around Woodruff selling drugs. I got shot. I did all that. My mother never told me I'm not going to be nobody. I'm going to end up in the street. She didn't give up on me. You can't give up on these kids. And that's what a lot of parents are doing these days. The kids get about 16, 17 years old, and they struggling in school. Their grades ain't right, and you just throwing them off. How do you expect your child to be successful or be somebody, and they look at a reflection of you? So it starts with the foundation of you. We can come together like this, but then we go home and be like, oh man, they ain't hitting on nothing. Oh man, that's one of them did this. Why they ain't do it this way? Oh man, forget them. You can't do all that. This got to be a continuation. Woodruff is so small. I thought about it yesterday. I was sitting in my office. How many guys that grew up in Woodruff, that's under the age of 30 years old, they got killed in Woodruff by somebody from Woodruff? That's the part I don't understand. We all grew up together. It was family down here. I'm gonna give you the thing. I never personally expressed this. I never personally ever said this. Those who are close to me know what I'm about to say in the aspect of when I got shot. And I'm not certainly not trying to make this about me. I want to tell you about retaliation. When I got shot, it's gonna be 10 years next Friday, September 14th. And when my sister called me, she said she got shot in the stomach. I got shot in the stomach, so I was like, she's gonna be all right. But when I found out she had passed, I called my mother. I said, Mom, he got shot in the stomach. I got shot in the stomach with a 9mm, and I'm standing here. She said, son, God got favor. You got a purpose in life. And my purpose in life always would be, no matter who know me personally or not, my purpose always would be to give back. Because I'm no better than nobody else out here. I was telling my homeboys the other day, I ran the street. I could have been a felon. I don't sold dope. I don't did all that. And to be able to stand here today, 10 years later, after being paralyzed with his leg for six months, I know we got a greater God out here. But at the same time, you got to know how to reach God. And when I was going through that dark part of my life, which was the darkest point I ever had in my life, was when I got shot. I remember going to the emergency room and they were saying you might have to wear a bag. And to me, I didn't know what a bag was. You know, I've been an athlete, just graduated from college, in first week of grad school, and I came out of surgery and God said, and the doctor said, you know, man, you are blessed. He said the bullet did not go all the way through your stomach. It did a deep grade and took some of your meat out, 9 millimeters. And he said, I don't know when you're gonna be able to walk again, use his leg. He said, but you're blessed, young man. He said it came about an inch from hitting your nerve where you be permanently paralyzed in that leg. Still, at that point in time, me being 23 years old, and these boys were 20 and 22 years old, that life just got taken from them. I was 23, so I was young. But to know that, and I had retaliation in my mind, because sometimes if you're not strong enough mentally, the streets can make you go do something. And so I stayed on Sharp Street. And that time, Sharp Street was the hottest street in Woodruff. And you hear so much, we can't let that nigga get away with that. You know what I mean? And it get in your mind like, yo, I ain't weak, I'm a man. You know what I mean? I let this man harm my body. So one night, after planning, I actually planned. It was the scariest time of my life. I actually planned and was going through with it to take this man's life. And this man ain't never touched me. He wasn't the one that shot me. But I actually went behind this man's house, stayed for hours and hours, and that man didn't come home. But I thank God that man didn't come home today. I thank God every day that man didn't come home, because either I'd be in a penitentiary, either if I got away with it, God would have never blessed me with what I'm doing right now. So I just tell to my young folks out here, I done been on my back 10 years ago, being shot. You know, y'all young men out here, I know that Key and Quinn, they're gone, but they don't want y'all to go out here and do something foolish, because when you got beef, there's nobody win from this situation. Taboo morning, Sam Baby morning, Mr. Marvin morning, there's nobody win from this situation. So if you go out here and do something foolish, guess what's going to happen? It's a recycle situation. Your parents crying because you got 40 years in prison. Your parents crying because you dead. So when we leave here, I will hope that the young folks out here will take something from this situation and not look at it like just for the moment. Because I promise you that if you don't change your life, you're headed for a destruction situation. I promise you that. And I was headed in that direction, but I'm so glad every day I be in my office. And everything I put on Facebook, I don't care if I don't like. This is what I feel in my heart. Because I know where God brought me from. I know how my mother sacrificed. And in life, you got to have a purpose why you want to live. Some of y'all get up every morning just want to smoke some blunt and get some 40s and chill. What's your purpose? What's your purpose? What are you really living for? Are you just waking up and just say, I'm good? Well, my purpose was, I seen how much my mother sacrificed. I seen how many people counted me out, Tory Dandy ain't gonna do this. I heard that so much. And then my daughter is my why factor. If I put on Facebook today that my why factor, your why factor is why you want to make it. And why I want to make it, because I know my daughter is dependent upon me. And that's why every morning I get up, I thank God for another day. I thank God for blessing my life. I thank God for my daughter, because if it would have been for my daughter, the streets had me, man. It had me. I'm running up and down the street, up and down the highways, bringing in so much dope. People didn't even know the life I was living. I was living two different lives. People think this Tory the schoolboy. I was Tory getting the money around here. But I never was the violent type. But I want to close in saying this. Never allow a man or a woman to get in your mind to where they're controlling your life. Let me say this again. Never allow a man or a woman to get in your mind where they're controlling your life. Because once they know they're controlling your life, they will continue to do that. So it's a lot of times when I come home, people be like, Tory Dandy think he's this and that. No, it ain't that I think that. We're in two different directions. That's right. That's all it is. I still love you. It's all good. You're doing the same thing we were doing 20 years ago. So it don't make me no better than nobody else. We all from the same crib. I'm born and raised right here. Love my city. I rep my city everywhere I go across the country. I'm from Woodruff, South Carolina, proud. Proud. But we got to give a representation when we go out in the public to make everybody proud. This right here on Fox News, everybody talking about this situation right here. We need to talk about something positive that's going on around in Woodruff. Not looking around every time we turn up every year, another brother getting killed. So I just want to say to y'all, Taboo, I don't think Sam Baby's out here. To the family, know that both of your son and your nephew was loved. And like I said, I got to go out of town tomorrow, so I won't be at the funeral. So that's the only reason why I made sure I was here today. Because I wanted these folks to hear, coming from somebody that been in their shoes, that stand in their shoes. A lot of times you can hear somebody speak, but you be like, man, they ain't living the life I live. I don't put them shoes on before. So I know what the walk is about. So now I'm here to talk in the aspect of giving you all of me and all I can give. But you gotta, if you want it from me, just call me. Call me. You want me to talk to your son, your daughter, whatever it is, call me. Call me. I'm not above nobody out here. It's all love right here. When I come home, I want to be with my family. I love family, man. I love family. So I just want to say to y'all, let's stay together. Love your kids. Don't let the streets love your kids. Women, don't let another man let your daughter feel like that's the best thing that ever happened to her. No. Love your kids. Women, look your son in the face. No matter what happened with that man in your life, tell your son you love your son. Let your son know he is going to be somebody. He is somebody. Don't let the streets get a hold of him, because I promise you we'll be back here again. I love y'all. Take care.